Very good morning, afternoon, and evening to my all audience in Zoom and also the Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to our today's class, I'm your host Maratib Ali Shad. Today, in first session, we will discuss and learn about the power of paradigm. The power of paradigm is a very foundational and fundamental topic from the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, the book written by Stephen Covey. The why this power of a paradigm is so important, because the people who were interested in the topic and content in the Seven Habit book, actually they were able to change their paradigm. And once they able and they start to unleash their potential, they found that actually their way, how they are looking the world and people around them now is totally transformed, is totally changed. So therefore they enhance their productivity, they do more personal development activities, they were good in home and also at work. So their life totally changed 360-degree. So that is because of the paradigm change, or they transformed by reading that book. And that's why Stephen Covey got huge success in the world, and he established a new trend in the whole business world about you can transform from the scratch. You can change yourself totally so that you can unleash your potential the way it should be. So that's why the success of Seven Habit book also and work on the paradigm. That's why Stephen Covey included that paradigm and inside out approach in on the first 20 to 40 pages of that book. And then after, he described the habit number 1, habit number 2, habit number 3, because you cannot practice the habits and the principle and gets the fruits of the habit until you know intentionally, deliberately, that now you are ready to change your paradigms from old paradigm, old way of thinking, to new way of thinking, more successful way of thinking, and it got success. So that's we are going to learn today. What is the significance of paradigm in our life? And this is actually the part 4. And we are doing series on 7 habits. And we are learning each week a new lesson. From last 3 weeks, we learned the way we see the problem is the problem. And then we learn the effect of personality ethics. And then we learn also about character ethics. We also learn a new way of thinking, which is referring to change of paradigms from the personality ethics to character ethics. So, and now today is a part 4. We specifically learn about what actually paradigm is, and how the paradigm is influential and make the fundamental change in your character, in your personality, and hence in the path of happiness and quality of happiness in your life. Uh, if you want to learn the paradigm literally meaning, the paradigm literally meaning is, it is a frame of reference, it is the lens, it is the glasses through which we see the world, we perceive the world, we interpret the world and people and events and what's happening around, and even it is the lens through which I discover myself. I know my strengths and weaknesses as well. and also the same in other people. So paradigm is a frame of reference, is the map of everything which you have fitted in your mind, and that is called paradigm. And everybody has a different thoughts and background experience and training and a different parenting, different schooling, different cultures, and different religion or philosophical things uh, around us, and that's all makes us a unique paradigm. Now the question is, all paradigms which you have about um according to your awareness, and that may be different from my paradigm about the same thing. If you know more significant from academic level, like you are a child and you don't know what the paradigm is, then I will refer to you the Stephen Covey book, The Seven Habits, and first 10 pages in which there is a heading of paradigm, and he actually explain like a teacher to teaching to the child that what actually paradigm is. And he tells the story about a old lady and the young lady, young beautiful lady, and how the picture of young lady or old lady impact and creates the paradigm to the audience, is a mind-blowing exercise. Obviously, I cannot explain here because of time constraint, but I will uh, encourage you and recommend you to read those couple of pages there and try to understand exactly what the paradigm means from like a ABC from the scratch. But now here I'm going to tell you what the significance of paradigm and how the paradigm change from older pattern of thinking to new pattern of thinking, from old ways of outlook of life to the new outlook of the life. And and I will also give you some example of old way of thinking versus new way of thinking, so that we have a very clarity about our paradigm. And also you will learn about and you can re-evaluate from your own life that maybe earlier age stages of your life you may have a different paradigm about different things, and now you have changed your paradigm, whether deliberately or unconsciously they have changed, and that impact the total transformation of your life. So you can analyze yourself as well. So let's start from couple of paragraphs I took from the Eighth Habit book, in which Stephen Covey described the how the paradigms shifted from old ways to the new ways, and he also tells that why companies and organization are not able to uh, change the situation of the companies, why they are not able to resolve the problem in their companies and the employees. He says it is not because they cannot do, it is because they are still following the old paradigms. That's why the leaders, CEOs, manager, and the founders are not able to uh, correct and resolve the defects in the companies. Hence, their company may destroy or collapse sooner or later because they cannot see the problem. It's very important, before making the correction in some other thing or in yourself, first you need to identify and accept the reality that there is a problem. Once you decide that there is a problem, then you are able to make a change in the paradigm, and then you can correct it. And that's why he refer our famous quote. He says the quote start, most ailing organizations have developed a blindness to their own defects. They are not suffering because they cannot resolve their problem, but because they cannot see their problem. That's very important, because the paradigm shifts only happens when you are able to see the problem. And once you identify the problem, then you are able to change your current state. It also valid on a personal level as well. That's the Einstein also mentioned in his one of the great quotation, which Stephen Covey refers in many places in their intellectual work. The quote of Einstein is, quote start, the significant problem we face cannot solve at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them, commas closed and quote finish. So it very self-explanatory that we have to change our paradigm, our way of looking at things, if we want to resolve the problem of the world, or myself, or the company, or maybe the family, if my family is in crisis, by changing that outlook. And how he says, uh, he also mentioned a profound learning of his life. He mentioned in the Eighth Habit book, and that's my one of the favorite quote of Stephen Covey himself. And that quote is amazing, and it will impact on yourself as well. Stephen Covey, the best quote I ever seen and read as well, and it's really impractical as well. The quote Stephen say, if you want to make a minor incremental changes and improvement, work or practices, behavior or attitude, but if you want to make significant quantum improvement, work on your paradigm. So paradigm is the phenomena, is the frame which you transform into your mind to make a mega change, completely 360-degree changes, or not only in your personal self. If you have if you want to transform family prospect, if you want to change the company's future, or even if you are a politician, if you want to make the society in a positive change, then you must work on paradigm for a huge change. That's a mind-blowing idea which Stephen Covey has given. But it is important to note that the map which you have in your mind about specific idea, or a seeing or perception about particular thing, about people, about culture, about any problem, it can be inaccurate. Your perception can be a faulty. Your perception, the way you are looking at the thing can be inaccurate. Why? Because this is a map actually. It's not the territory. It's a very, very important, mind-blowing concept. People think that if they change their mind, then it means they are going to see the truth, or know the truth, and know the ultimate reality. No, it's not like that. If your map, actually you have only map in your mind about particular thing. If that map is inaccurate, yeah, then that the whole thing which you are learning, or you are perceiving the world, is also wrong. No matter how much you are sincere, no matter how much you were positive, but this map, if it is inaccurate, then obviously that will be impacted negatively, and you will be failed at eventually. Therefore, many people, they are very honest about their action. They do lot of hard workness. They do they look very sincere, but they also become fail in their life because of inaccuracy of the map and the perception what they know or they have with them, because they think that the map is a territory. No, map cannot be territory. In order to make the map territory, you have to experience, and you need to have a huge spectrum of that thing, and then you can make the right decision which will go to the right direction. So the problem today, he means to say that once we know the paradigm, what are the accurate paradigm, we start to think that our paradigms are like this without practicing it, without having an actual and real experience of that paradigm. Only mapping is not enough. That's why he says the map is not the territory. And uh, uh, so, but if our map is accurate and we have territory experience about that map, we have paid the price of that action or that thought which we are making as a fundamental paradigm of my personal success or my organizational success, then it will be accurate and my attitude will work on that time. My confidence will work on that time once I will have experience. Until it's not at all. That's a very important concept we can think about. Now I want to tell you about old paradigm with Stephen Covey, or maybe if you people have that generation where the bloodletting was the main paradigm of the people. Anybody knows about meant by bloodletting? What does mean by bloodletting? And it basically, it's defined as the bad stuff is in your blood, and that's is the main cause to make you death. Why people are dying? Because they believe that there is a bad stuff in the blood, and they work and they treat on a blood level only to cure any illness, or they make treatment even till modern age as well. People or many medical different domains or way of treatment, they used to work on the blood units. And if they change the blood from one person to another person, if transfer the fresh blood to the old blood, they think that the people will be okay, people will be healed. And that has been was the old paradigm. uh, if anybody knows or want to share that paradigm which I'm talking about, it's still in many places, or especially the people of old pattern of thinking, they still believe that our blood, our body or physical blood which we have, it is the main cause of death and the all illnesses which we have. But then I will tell you what is actually the new paradigm, and which is more real paradigm now our modern world has adopted. And that paradigm has described Stephen Covey in his book, The Bloodletting Paradigm. Of course, is the thing. Let's try to learn, and we'll see what it's saying. And then I would ask what's your comment. So I will ask Jenny if you can read that. What is the bloodletting?
Bloodletting was the paradigm. The bad stuff is in the blood. Get it out. Now, if you did not question this paradigm, what would you do? Do more, do it faster, do it more painlessly. Go into TQM or Six Sigma on bloodletting. Do statistical quality controls, various analysis. Do strategic feasibility studies and organize around brilliant marketing plans so that you can advertise. We have the highest quality world-class blood unit in the world. Or you might take people into the mountains and let them do free falls off cliffs into each other's arms. So when they return to the bloodletting unit of the hospital, they'll work with more love and trust. Or you might let members of the bloodletting unit sit around in hot tubs and explore their psyches with each other so that they develop authenticity in their communication. You might even teach positive thinking to your patients as well as your employees so the positive energy is optimized when bloodletting takes place.
Thank you. It's a great reading. So you may have an idea now what the bloodletting old paradigm was actually. Uh, Let me start. Hi, Gerald C. Mac. Welcome to our uh, Facebook video. He's a regular watcher on our video. I don't know whether he can listen to me. So uh, yeah, so bloodletting is a old paradigm, but still is also in many part of the world. So if the bloodletting is not the main cause of the people illnesses or the deaths, then what is the main cause? Stephen Covey says germs are the main reason of the death and the illness of the people. Germs are the primary reasons of the cause of the death, and that is also is obviously now because we are living in 21st century, and we may laugh. Oh, it's a very common sense. It's a very natural thing that the germs are the responsible. But before 50 years or 100 years before, our old civilization and societies, they used to have this paradigm. And look at how they were influencing negatively, and how many deaths they did because of that incorrect and faulty paradigm. And that's Stephen Covey is mentioning. He said, imagine that if you don't believe that the germs are the responsible for the death, what would be the consequences? Also, he explained that before the woman during the childbirth, they used to die as well during the pregnancy and at the time of labor pains, and and many people uh, they were witnessing. They said there were some problem in the blood. That's why the both mother and the child both died because of this hidden or secret phenomena. But later we discovered that no, it is because the midwife, they used to more clean, and actually why there were newborn child, or the during the delivery, during the labor pains, mothers were dying because of germs of the people were transferring through the lower part of through the tummy as well. Germs were the main reason. Also, during the war or in the battlefield, many soldiers used to die, and they were blaming again to the bloodletting dogmatic issue. I will call it dogmatic cause, but later we knew that actually they were the germs of specific type. They were killing the soldier on that time and in during the war as well. So germs theory actually opened the whole new field of research and the new paradigm, and it changed our health system. And even if you imagine we are witnessing uh, today's 11th July 2021, we witness of disaster and ever witness bad era of last around 2 years of coronavirus pandemic, and millions of people have been died. Imagine if that was happening 100 years ago, what people were thinking about, why people are dying. Because coronavirus, we know because of modern medicine, because of modern research, we know that the virus, bacteria, and other germs are responsible for death from pneumonia, for respiratory problem. But before we didn't know. about that thing. And coronavirus must be the cause of some external hidden black magic. Maybe God is killing us, or maybe some punishment we are giving ourselves, or something. Can you imagine what the paradigm uh, can impact on the whole world? It is. So there are flawed paradigms, and that actually made our life and the future as well. So let's try to learn from Stephen Covey's writing what he thinks about Jumps theory and about the new paradigm. So I will ask Mike if you can read it plus for us.
Can you imagine what happened when the germ theory was discovered? When Semmelweis of Hungary, Pasteur of France, and other empirical scientists discovered that germs are a primary cause of disease. It immediately explained why women wanted to be delivered by midwives. The midwives were cleaner, they washed. It explained why men on war's battlefields were dying from staph infections than bullets. The disease was spread behind the front ranks through germs. The germ theory opened whole new fields of research. It guides healthcare practices to the present day. That's the power of power of an accurate paradigm. It explains and then it guides. But the problem is that paradigms, like traditions, die hard. Flawed paradigms go on for centuries after a better one is discovered. For instance, though history books talk about George Washington dying of a throat infection, he probably died of bloodletting. The throat infection was the symptom of something else. Since the paradigm was the bad stuff in the blood, they took from him several pints of blood in a 24-hour period. You and I are counseled not to give more than 1 pint every 2 months if we're well.
Thank you. It's a great reading. So it is very clear from the writing of Stephen Covey that how the new paradigm of germs uh, created a new future for our generation, and we are witnessing today as well for this. Uh, Going to cover more content, I want to tell you about the personal development. And what is a personal development? What was the old paradigm? There were many paradigms about what are the development we can do. So many people they used to say before, oh, only if you increase the intelligence, mental intelligence, or increase your IQ, you will be successful. You will be conquering the world. I'm not sure I and understand. You will conquering the whole world. And that was an old paradigm. But the 2 days, Stephen Covey unleashed that news that actually the new age worker is a new paradigm for personal development. And it refers that a person is not only mind, a person is a body, a person is an emotional being, a person is a spiritual being. So, if you want to develop your personality, or if you want to develop your person as a person, you need to work on all four things: body, mind, heart, and spirit. Body, mind, heart, and spirit. And that is a new paradigm of personal development. And I'm very personally impressed and very convinced with that paradigm that these are the four foundational and essential need for any person to live successfully, live with a balance without any suffering, that stay fit and work on physical fitness, having a emotional intelligence to control your heart and emotions and make out of the best of these emotions. The mind, more read your books, more attend the lectures, more learning about specific thing, you will have great mind and full of great thoughts as well. And most importantly, the spirit, which is a governing things of or your other three dimension, which is body, mind, and heart or emotion, that is controlled by your spirit. That is controlled by your unseen dimension within you. Many people refer it as a conscious or the spirit or the soul. So, this is a new paradigm of personal development, and that is a mind blowing and a life changing concept which I'm giving you. And Stephen Covey has written this book of the eighth habit only on this paradigm, that how you can change the whole uh, uh, for body, mind, heart, spirit in 360-degree, and you will be entirely a different person and more satisfying person. So the whole person paradigm is the new paradigm for personal development. So that's actually referring a new paradigm and what's the importance of paradigm. Now I will mention you couple of paradigms, old paradigms and the new paradigms, and you can make a distinguish between both. So old paradigm, which I mentioned already, the bloodletting is the cause of the death. The new paradigm actually saying germs are the real cause of the death or the illnesses. Old paradigm is saying success of the person is how intelligent he or she is. But the real new paradigm is the mind, emotion, body, and spirit are the responsible for the success of the person. Old paradigm was success is all about personality ethics. The way you look, the way you talk, the way you look beautiful, the way you have a six packs, or the way you have a attractive body, a nice clothing, nice lifestyle. That is the success of yourself. But the real new paradigm is success is a character ethics. Sorry. And also with the personality ethics. But character is a new paradigm of real and true happiness of the people. Old paradigm is world is made by atom and then the thoughts. First matter came into existence and then from matter it's a thought. It's a very well still paradigm of people who are communist uh, and socialist and belongs to socialism as well. I'm talking about Marxist people who believe in socialism. They still have this paradigm. But what is a new paradigm? That is, thought actually creates later. First, thoughts created first, and then based on these thoughts, we created our whole world, new world. But that's a new paradigm anyway. Uh, Many people think that my race, my ethnicity, my nationality, my language, that is determined what is my future. And new paradigm is no, your power of choice creates your future, not your ethnicity. If you are American, if you are a Britisher, if you are Russian, if you are Arab, it does not make you superior. What makes you superior or make you determines your success is your power of choice, and that is a powerful paradigm. Old paradigm is leadership is a formal position, that leaders are those who are in decision making role, like president of the company, CEO the company, president of the country, prime minister of the country, mayor of the city, governor of the province or the state. That make you leader. No, that's an old paradigm. Your moral position makes you leader. Leadership is a moral authority. Leadership is a moral position. If you are morally strong, that makes you stand out from the audience, and that is influencing to many people. But also, moral authority, if it is combined with formal authority, it's a superb. Is a superb. Like in today's world, some leader in the world, they have moral authority, at the same time they have formal authority as well, and they are more influencing. Yeah, but formal authority was the old paradigm. That's I wanted to point out. If you are a janitor, if you are a peon, if you are a cleaner in the house, it also makes you leader as well. You are leader still, if as far as you have uh, moral or character ethics based personality, or as a person, then you are a leader still, even you are a cleaner. That is a new paradigm or a different paradigm. Earth was a center of solar system before Newtonian physics, and before all scientists they used to believe, and they were interpreting the whole universe on this paradigm. But now we know that actually sun is a center of our solar system, or there are so many other new paradigms. Now it's totally changed. Before Einstein, people were using the time is fixed and internal. It was forever. But Einstein told us no, time is not internal. It had some started point from the Big Bang, and time is relative. Time does change. Time is not fixed. That is a new paradigm. So there are some new and old paradigms I just mentioned you, and if you are in process of change, it means that you are in process of changing of your paradigm of your life about anything, any dimension. And that is was a topic for today's from my point of view. And I end at this stage. And if you have any question to discuss this mind-blowing new learning, possibly you it may help you to change your paradigm, the way you are thinking, and it impacts on everything. For example, old paradigm was my husband or my wife is on a very traditional relationship. Oh, they have little certain set of expectation, and that's a husband and wife. But now husband and wife paradigm behind is so vast and so broadened. Now husband and wife are more good friend. The ideal relationship they had, they're dying on each other as well. They look like soulmate of each other. Uh, that's a new paradigm of husband and wife relationship, and that new paradigm in every relationship is going on, and everybody has on a new state, a new transformation of their life, and that's happening. If you are very fat, or you are a very fat person, and you have too much weight, for let's say 300 pounds weight, and you want to get a success, there are two methods. One method, you go to the surgery doctor, and the surgeon will take out all your fat from your body and make you slim. Is that your success? Or you create a fundamental change in your diet and in your lifestyle, and bring in a new way of meditation or spirituality, and also change on the thought pattern, how you are seeing the success, and then you are going to work on to become slim. Which is a more everlasting method of getting a slim? Going to the doctor and make a surgery, or making a fundamental change of your paradigms about what meant to be a real success, not only in to change in our lifestyle. That is a real paradigm and correct paradigm. So these are just some example. I hope you get lot of things from today's uh, class. So I would like you to participate and share your comments about how you think. Otherwise, I will conclude for this session.
I found it to be very interesting.
Thank you. Amazing.
You know, I think that it's interesting because like our paradigms change based on the more we learn. So like what you know at 10 years old, you know maybe all you can know at 10, but like you're only 10 years old, you know, so like how much do you really know? And then you're 20 years old and you've learned another decade of knowledge, and then 30 and so forth. And I think as adults, we pick up that, you know, the more we increase our knowledge, just like the bloodletting, where people thought, oh, it must be the blood. And then we learn it's germs, though. It's not the blood, it's the germs. Then you go, oh, and then you branch off of there. But the more we study, the more we learn, the more we investigate life, the more our paradigms change, because what we knew 10 years ago, you know, we know so much more now. And then you learn from these younger people where they're coming in with their new knowledge, their new technology. People like me that are like, how do I work my phone? You know, and they know. And then they can show us these different ways of thinking. But we constantly learn from one another and listening and seek to understand, like Dr. Covey said, you know, tell me why you think that. If I'm stuck in my old way of, oh, no, this is how I believe. This is my, you know, whatever, you know, this is my culture. This is my religion. This is whatever. Things can be solid with that. And we still have like our views, even our culturistic and religious views. But sometimes we can change the way we look at those views because we've learned a little extra about it. Do we have blood? Do we have germs? Yes, we do. Now we see them differently because we know more.
Absolutely.
It's just interesting how they keep changing all the time with the more we invest in the knowledge. Just never stop learning. You know?
Absolutely. This is a mind-blowing idea you gave, or actually you are describing, Jenny, that only if somebody asks what one thing fundamentally if I do, then I will start to change my paradigm, and that is learning, which you are mentioning. Learning, or we call it mental intelligence, which we do by reading more books, by listening more lecture, by engaging to intellectual people. Uh, more learning actually help you to change your paradigm. Absolutely, that's a fantastic. You are explaining, and even you are learning from children. You are learning from your teacher, your mentors, your media, from YouTube, from going in library, from newspaper. You can learn anything, but mainly more important thing that you are ready to change. If you did not make mindset that now you are upgrading your paradigm from old way of thinking to the new and more successful way of thinking, then you will change your paradigm. Some people, they even know and come a new reality, they don't change because they want to stick with old paradigms, and they think that the map is a territory. That is a point which Stephen Covey and mostly spiritual gurus also tells, that map is not the territory. You have to pay the price in order to make the fundamental change in your paradigm. You have to visit the territory. How the Chicago is beautiful, how the New York is beautiful, how the London is beautiful. I cannot uh, make the correct thinking about these cities or these culture until I go there and I visit them, and I read them in details. Then I will know. I will actually going into the territory, and that makes me 100% the true reality about these cities or these cultures. But I cannot make myself that I know all countries and all city because some my friend told me, and that's I knew that. So don't rely on someone's opinion about something. Paradigms does change when you actually have real experience about that thing, or and that's the reality. Otherwise, we have too much information about everything. Will all information help you to change your paradigm? Well, it can help only on an information level, but it I will not change with 360-degree until I will practice it, until I experience that change. That's more important.
But I
Even
think too that we have to learn to blend old paradigms with new paradigms. I don't want to change all my paradigms. So I think blending is important.
well, Cynthia, I think too that like you test what you learn. Like in insurance, for instance, I read all of these books that were all about a numbers game, and the more people you call, the more policies you're going to get, and la la la. Which can be true if I take a piece of that, but if I call 500 uninterested people and I sell one policy, I can say, oh, see, it works. I called 500 people, but I got an insurance policy. It works. Now, if I take 100 people and I qualify a need, I find 25 out of these 100 that I've contacted, and they're like, you know what? I have really been needing to do this. I want to change my insurance. I'm so glad you've called. I've been thinking about this, and I get 25 out of 100, then I could get 25 policies. And that could say, well, qualifying the prospect works, and I get, really 24 more than I got out of 500 people. Now, the more people that you call, of course, the more opportunities you have. That makes sense. But what if I don't qualify any of them? I might not get as many as talking to the people that have a need. So I take those two groups together where some people say, qualify the prospect, and the others say call, 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 and that's all that matters. These two different books that I'll read that don't come together, like you said, with the blending, put those two together and then make it work for myself. Like, test the theory. You can't just listen to everyone else. Oh, I'm an expert, do this and it's going to work. And you don't have your own thoughts. You have to apply them to your life, your industry, yourself, kind of gathering all of the information and then making your own decision on your own. And then that's your paradigm
Yeah,
of how it works.
yeah,
Very true.
yeah. That's a good explanation. Let me refer to Cynthia. What her point is, blending the different paradigm is uh, is good in many situations. Uh, Obviously, some people they don't want to leave completely their old paradigm or those situation and feelings and thoughts which they were attached with them, and plus they want to use their new ideas as well. That's good. Is However, there are limitations of paradigm. So far, we have discussed the significance in positive manner about the changing of paradigm and making the shift from old to new. Next episode I will do about paradigm, and I will teach you about there are negative consequences of the paradigm as well, and there are limitations, and at what limit we can allow paradigm to control my life or control the society as well. It is an advanced learning about paradigm. Let's And then I will explain this mixing of the paradigm or the sales paradigm which Jenny is referring as well. Let's try to connect with the next topic in the next episode, uh, and also the part number 5 for this series as well. And then we will try to discuss it more as well. Uh, because we are already away from the time as well, I hope before going, I want to have a quick um, comment from the Mike or Javeria, if they can do, how they think about paradigm. Mike, you have any comment, or Javeria?
Yeah. If we follow our daily routine, our usual paradigm, so we are following the same circle, and we don't learn a new thing. If we turn forward, this is the thing that we learn new things from following new paradigm. And as Imam Ali alayhi salam said, there is always the way for those who want to learn, who want to seek, who want to see something new. So if we want to learn, then nature try to teach us. So it's a wonderful topic about paradigm.
Thank you. Thank you. I just mentioned one thing. New learning or new things are very important, but every new learning is not paradigm or new, not changing of paradigm, but it can help to contribute to make a mega change. Always remember there is a level of changes which Stephen Covey mentioned. The level one, if you are learning something and you are making a change at behavior level, you are changing your behavior. That's the first good change you are doing. But that's not the paradigm change. The second level is you learn something and you are changing your attitude, the way you are behaving also, but the way you are perceiving on the lower level. That is called the attitude change. That is not the paradigm which he is talking about. He's talking about the fundamental frame through which you are going to interpret the world and perceiving the world are the paradigm. Paradigms are more sophisticated lens which you are start to put on your mind, and that from there you are totally changing, seeing the whole entire world. For example, if I'm wearing the glasses, yeah, and what about if I'm wearing the red glasses? When I then I will start to change and see the whole world as a reddish world, right? So it means no matter I'm wherever I'm wearing these glasses, if I'm looking at the sky is reddish. I'm looking at some my people, my family, all people faces are reddish, right? That level is called paradigm, where everything's totally changed, and there we need to work on that, and that's fundamental change which Stephen Covey is referring. Yes, that level of change also happens when you learn, but that learning is more spiritual learning. That learning is more depth, in a deepful way of learning. That's why the Seven Habit book is also very deep book for many people, because it changed actually the whole outlook where they were seeing everything. That which I want to make point. Well, we are going ahead from the time. Next episode, I will cover more content on paradigm in a more broader way. And if you have any question, just note down on a piece of paper, and then we will discuss that question as well. Or you can put any question on the comment, and that I will read and explain in the next um, Sunday session as well. Thank you very much for this session. I hope you enjoy this, and this learning is continue. And just stay tuned with me for 2-3 minutes, and then we will come back again with a new session. And that session is also related with the science and the paradigm in direct way, and that topic is reason. uh, and intellectualism, rationality, and what the level, what the connection with our consciousness and with our success as well. Stay tuned with me. Let's take a break 2 to 3 minutes. Before going to, if you are watching it, I will encourage you to join my YouTube channel and subscribe my blog, which is maratibalisshad.com, where I share and write the content on personal development and spirituality. Thank you very much and see you next Sunday. Thank you.
The recording has stopped.